I can take that one. Let's circle back on that one offline. All right, sounds good. This meeting, it could have been an email.
We've all been there, sitting through an hour-long meeting, wondering why we're even there. Or worse, why it was even scheduled in the first place. Time is one of the most valuable resources in a business. And when meetings aren't run effectively, it gets expensive, both in time and in productivity. Today, let's talk about how to make meetings more efficient, productive, and worth everyone's time. First things first, preparation. Every meeting needs a purpose, and that purpose should be clear to everyone who's joining the meeting. This is where a well-thought-out agenda will come in handy. I'll have to be honest. In my 10 years of leadership experience, I haven't always been the greatest about creating an agenda. And I realized that when I don't create an agenda, the meeting is less efficient. When I've created an agenda, the meeting is more productive and actually more impactful to the business. An agenda is pretty straightforward. What are we discussing? Who's leading each section? And what's the goal by the end of the meeting? And remember, this isn't a formality, it's an expectation. I used to have a manager who would say, no agenda, no attenda. And you know what? They were right. It's good practice to make sure that it is clear why you are even showing up to a meeting, even if you don't own the meeting. Why am I going to this meeting? What's the purpose? And what's expected of me in this meeting? How many times have you been to a meeting and you're sitting in the meeting going, why am I here? That's because not every meeting needs everyone. Be mindful of who's invited to the meeting. Before companies went fully remote, you had to think about the physical size of the meeting room when you were scheduling it. Remote meetings tend to fill up with more people because there's no physical limit to how many people can attend. And it's easy to just add more people. I think you still need to be very thoughtful on who's being added to the meeting. Meetings can get quite expensive and quite frankly ineffective when you think about how many people are just sitting there listening to the meeting. Sometimes you're attending a meeting just to give a quick 30-second to a minute status update. And really, this isn't the most effective use of a whole team's time. You could really just point one representative to go. Every meeting should have a clear objective. Are we making a decision? Are we solving a problem? Are we assigning tasks? Or is it just context sharing? If you can't define an outcome, the meeting probably doesn't need to happen. There's nothing worse than walking away from a meeting wondering what's next. If there's action items from the meeting, make sure you're communicating that and recapping that at the end to make sure everyone is on the same page. Not all meetings will have action items, but there typically will be some sort of a recap or follow-up. Recorded meetings are useful, but it's a lot to expect that people are going to watch the entire meeting in their spare time. For large forums, I started cutting up the recordings to make it easier for people to digest. These few minutes of work on my part ended up resulting in more people watching the recorded meeting. Context sharing may not even require a meeting. It could just be an email. So next time you're scheduling a meeting and even attending a meeting, ask yourself, could this have just been an email? With a little preparation and focus, you can make your meetings a lot more effective. If you found this video useful, make sure to subscribe for more leadership tips, book reviews, and strategies to grow as a leader. Also, let me know what your biggest pet peeves are for meetings. Leave a comment below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.